we have yeast, which is in a sachet, but you can buy it in a big long tube as well. We've got salt, caster sugar, warm water, plain flour, and oil. So I'm making the dough first because that has to grow, because yeast is a microorganism that needs food, time, moisture, and warmth. Then I'm putting the salt, I'm putting the sugar, and I'm putting the warm water. Now that is going to start fermenting because the yeast will start growing, and as it grows it gives off carbon dioxide. So we're going to let that sit in a warm place for about 5 minutes or so. I'm going to put glad wrap on it and put it near my slow combustion oven. Now for the filling, I've got ham. It's just come out of the freezer, so it's a little bit dry. Salami, I need a couple of slices of that. Mozzarella, 100 grams. Mushroom, capsicum, onion, and an egg. So the ham, I'm just going to, doesn't matter if it's still frozen. If you don't have ham, you can use bacon, you could use chicken, you could use whatever you liked really, as long as it's cooked, because they're not in the oven long enough to cook any raw ingredients all that well, such as chicken or beef or something like that. So I would pre-cook it. I'm going to put it straight into my bowl because that's where I'm mixing everything. So that was just roughly chopped. Same with my salami. I'm just going to put it into, cut it there, this way, and straight into my bowl with the ham. Then we put our cheese. I'm going to chop my mushroom. And put that straight in. Now we don't want the seeds, so cut away from yourself. Now I've got a little bowl here for rubbish, because I like to have a little bowl there. So get all these seeds out. Doesn't matter if there's a couple in there. Now we cut it this way. We don't do it on the shiny side because your knife bounces off. So we put it into slices, nice long ones. Then we turn it and we cut it this way. Try and keep it all together. Probably would have been better off using my cook's knife, but anyway, that's okay. Then we put all of that into there. We get our onion. Now our onion, we have to get the part we don't want, the goobies. So we peel off what we don't want. Sorry, that's my cat trying to get in because she knows I'm cooking. Cheeky girl. And we're going to, you can slice it, but I'm actually going to dice it. Quite, you know, not a fine dice, but and pop that in there. I'm going to stir that all around. I've beaten my egg because that's going to be on top of our calzone to make it look very professional. We add our oil, and as you can see there were bubbles there, so I know that it was fermenting. So that means that the yeast has been activated, and it will continue to grow while we're doing the next process, which is putting our flour in, and then I'm going to show you how to knead the correct way. So there are a few yucks in there, so just as well I sifted it. It came from school, that flour. It doesn't surprise me that there's a few things in there. So I'm using a knife because that increases the surface area and makes it easier to mix. I will have to get my hand in there in a minute. So use a cutting motion. So I'll get my hand in there now and work it together. I can feel it soft, and I can also smell the yeasty, sort of like a little bit like baked bread smell coming off it as the yeast is fermenting. So we're going to bring this all together. Just put those last bits in there. And it's called kneading. Now, kneading is developing the gluten, which is the protein in our flour. Now, I'm just going to bring a little bit of flour over to start with, and I'm going to start kneading. So kneading is bend, push, turn. Bend, push, turn. Bend, push, turn. Bend, push, turn. And you keep doing that for 8 minutes. So it starts off looking a bit rough, and I'll come back after 8 minutes. So you can see that it has risen, and there's moisture on the plastic, and that means that this has been fermenting and the respiration process has gone on, which means that we get carbon dioxide and moisture. So I'm going to cut this into 4. I'll only do 1 because otherwise it'll take me all day, but I'll show you briefly. We do it a quick knead. Turn them over, get your rolling pin, make sure you've got flour, press down, and we're making these into rounds. Now, if you don't have a rolling pin, you can use a can, you can use a bottle of some kind. You don't have to have a rolling pin. I'm just about there. A little bit more that way. And there we go. So what I'm going to do is put about 1/4 of this mixture on there. And I'm going to, with a bit of water, wet around one edge. Then I'm going to push this over. Push down a little bit, push it down really well, and then I'm just going to twist it. We twist it. Then it goes onto my tray, all 4 of them, and then we pop our egg mixture on to give it a really nice shiny baked look about it, and they go in the oven, all 4 of them. I think I'll fit 2 on a tray. There we go. They are out of the oven. They are brown on the top and the bottom, so you have to check that the bottom's cooked too. And they are just smelling so, I know I keep using the word delicious, but they look delicious and they smell scrumptious. So looking forward to eating them with my husband. Have a great day. See ya.